Good day, creative geniuses. Welcome. Welcome to my Wednesday Wisdom Window. I'm Reverend Suzanne Grace Raleigh, Spiritual Director here at the Foothill Center for Spiritual Living in Auburn, California. So grateful we come together once a week to have a new thought about this thing called life. Do a spiritual practice together, do some prayer, breath, get grounded in principle. There's no side effects to that. I guarantee, unless they're good side effects. So I'm glad you're here, whenever and wherever you're watching this from. I'm going to read a little bit from a few days ago from 365 Days of Richer Living by Ernest Holmes and Raymond Charles Barker, who I call the dynamic duo of metaphysics. And then I'll read the prayer. We'll do a breath practice as well. But I wanted to start with the idea of heaven and hell. In my foundations class last night that I was teaching, we had a really great discussion about the concepts of heaven and hell. And if you grew up in a Christian faith, then you had a couple options. You were either going to go to hell and burn, or you were going to go up to heaven and be free. And I was mentioning in the Catholic tradition, which I grew up in, there was also limbo and purgatory. So what we talked about last night was that it's important to consider how heaven and hell are not places we go to when we die. They're states of consciousness. So I want you to hear that. So we can find ourselves living in hell with fear, resentment, guilt, shame, or despair. And our focus, when we're there, our focus narrows to a sense of separation and limitation. We've all been there. And some of us might be there now. And then likewise, we can live in a heaven of peace, love, joy, freedom, when our awareness opens to possibility, unity, and the presence of spirit in all things. So living in heaven or hell is always our choice. So it's just something to think about. I just love that reminder, because we're always a choice of where we want to be in consciousness. Okay. So I'm going to go to Richer Living. Let me get my book. Good morning, Pam. Happy you're here. It's another cold, rainy day in Northern California. Very interesting. So today's reading, I'm going to paraphrase a little bit of the authors, and then we'll take that into our breath practice. So the title of this was, I am true to the kingdom of heaven in my thought this day. So I wanted to kind of keep that theme. What if we let the kingdom of God be our basis this day? Think about that. What if we let the kingdom of the divine, the creator, whatever name you prefer, what if that was the basis this day? We came from there. What if we knew that this kingdom is one of righteousness and truth? Well, it's already here, and we are already in it. So we can open our eyes to see God where we are. We can open our consciousness to the inflow of spiritual ideas today. I don't know about you, but that's a really good affirmation. I open my consciousness to the inflow of spiritual ideas today. Yeah. We can also open our heart to the divine love of God. And when we do that, what pours into us is the living stream of truth And then we can give it power to act through us as us. But it's always making that connection, that conscious connection to that power within. I am true to the kingdom of heaven in my thought today. That's a great affirmation. So are we willing to set aside our personal opinions, prejudices, and judgments? And instead just be in wonder about them. Instead of condemning someone, I'm finding that I can say, I wonder why they do that. I wonder why they think that. And just ease that hardening of our heart against someone or something else. Wonder really works good. So when we think about that, I think divine intelligence then governs our thinking. So we can open to that. Wonder. I wonder why they act so crazy. Oh dear. So let's take that into our breath practice today. If you're not driving, I'd like you to feel your feet on the earth and press your hands on one on each thigh and just lift up your shoulders and consciously tense your body. I'm just going to do a little somatic body awareness. Squeeze up tension. Even if you don't think you have tension, just squeeze up tension for a moment. And then let it all just drop away. Oh, goodness. It's like a ton of bricks. Just drop that tension into the earth. Just let it go. And again, press down into your thigh bones as you raise your shoulders if you can. Tense your body for a moment. Let it go. The big sigh is also helpful. Good. And if it's comfortable, I invite you to just close your eyes or soften your gaze and drop down to the feeling heart right in the center of your chest. The energy of the heart. You can even place a hand there and feel that you are safe. You are here now. It's a perfect, perfect place to be. And you may notice just by this awareness that your breath begins to slow and deepen without even thinking about it. Just notice. So for our 3 breaths today, I just want to remind us, we breathe in through the nostrils, hold the breath at the top, and then slowly through the mouth, we do what's called straw breath. You blow as if you're blowing through a straw, and it doesn't have to make a sound. It's just a long exhalation, which brings our nervous system into a stabilization. So we'll do this 3 times together. Let's begin. Inhale through the nostrils. And slowly through the mouth, exhale. And again, in breath, right up to the heart. And slow exhalation. One more conscious breath in. Let's breathe a breath of gratitude for this day. With a smile at the top and slowly straw breath out. You can rest your hand on your lap if it's up on your chest. And feel what you feel. And And so I invite you in this prayer that I'm going to read, that you sit with that vertical spine and allow that energy through the channel, central channel of the body, to be lengthened as best you can without being rigid. And I read this prayer in the first person, so I invite you to simply accept it for yourself today. Divine intelligence now governs my thinking. I let God take over the operation of my life. I have absolute faith that increased good is the only result of God's activity. I believe that God's will for me is good and is working for me now. Perfect mind inspires me. Perfect love upholds me. I am a thinker in a divine law of mind action. What I think causes something to happen. I gear my thinking today to the divine, and all that happens to me is good. I am cause to my world, and my thinking is based on right motives. My right causation necessitates my right experience. It is easy to prove God where I am and in what I do. I now do this. The kingdom of God is within me, and I now release it into my world through my mind, heart, and hands. God works, thinks, and loves. Through my voice, the word of truth is spoken. All who contact me today are healed, blessed, and prospered. For I am true to the kingdom of heaven in my thought this day. I open my consciousness to the inflow of spiritual ideas, and I open my heart to the divine love of God. And we breathe. We are setting aright our path today by hearing those words and affirming the truth that heaven is right where we are, if we so choose. So I'm grateful that we have this knowing today that with that divine presence, all things are possible. All things. So our affirmation today, I invite you to repeat after me if you like. Perfect mind inspires me. And perfect love upholds me. Let's say that again. Perfect mind inspires me. And perfect love upholds me today. Yes. What a beautiful seed that we're planting for this day. Trust it. Have faith that you are guided and directed to do, say, and think exactly what you need for your greater good. So take a deeper breath and come on back. You can open your eyes if they're still closed. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jackie and Eric and Pam. Thank you for being here. Oh, boy, I needed to hear that. So remember, you can always pass this on to a friend who might need a little inspiration today. Also, I do put it on our YouTube page if people aren't on Facebook. Thank you for being here. I so appreciate each of you, and keep the faith. Keep the faith in greater good. Have a beautiful rest of this day. Namaste.